Hi, happy Monday. Today is a little bit different morning routine because I do my check-ins with my bodybuilding coach on Mondays. So I'm just putting on my heels. I have my very simple Old Navy bikini that I've owned for 20 years on. Still waiting for my posing suit to arrive. And then I just do a quick little photo shoot so that we can see the progress over the weeks. And that's just one metric that we measure. I also do a big questionnaire on Mondays that gets into all the different biofeedback of just how my stress is, how I'm feeling, how my lifts are, what's improving, all that good stuff. So I'm going to take my iPhone as well in a separate spot, make sure the angle's okay, and then get to it. Okay, so this is the end of week 12 of the block, and just for my own context, I've been working on my conference talk, so it's been a little bit higher stress. I've been feeling sore for longer and a little bit inflamed. The lifts are getting really hard. Still progressing, actually, significant amounts, but it feels like there can't be too much more that I can squeeze out of this block, so this is how we're looking. First, relaxed. And then flexing. And then routine. So walking off from the side, which I need to practice a lot. Front pose. Bringing it together, looking around to back pose. Checking to make sure I'm actually facing my camera. And flipping back around. Front pose again. From the side. Thank you. And that is that. That is how I do my bodybuilding check-in photos. And then basically I take a video with my camera. I go back through the video and I take screenshots of each pose. So hopefully you can see that okay. But we go through, oh, there it was. And pause. Try to grab a decent front pose where I'm not talking. I'm realizing that might be harder this week because of the video. And then just take a screenshot of the front pose. And you do this for all the poses basically, but there's the side. The back, which is always a little tricky, and I need to get better at that because when the judges are there, you really just need to make sure that you're facing the judges, because if you're not, they can't see your physique, and obviously if they can't see you, they can't judge you very well. So let's say you're on the end, it's really important to angle your body towards the judges. I always like my front flexed pose. It's probably one of my stronger, just because my anterior is more built up than my posterior. Though it's kind of fun side by side on my side pose because I can just see how much work we put into my posterior in the last 6 months with growing my glutes and hamstrings. So that's also really fun just to see. See, like I'm a little bit angled there. That's not ideal. But doing my best. And those are all just kind of like for physique. And then for the actual poses for the fit model division, we have front pose, which you want kind of that angle in the hip, the glute squeezed. Ideally a little bit smaller waist, but I was a little distracted between two cameras. My feet could probably be a bit wider as well. I think I wasn't quite sure where to aim with two cameras. This is not actually a pose, but it is something that I send to my coach just so she can see that development in the posterior. And then going all the way around, let's see, there is back pose. Again, I'm a little bit angled, not ideal, but is what it is. Sometimes I'll do a couple rounds too, because it's just more posing practice. Not sure what that was. And then if I have a weird angle, I can fix it. You do get front pose option again. That one is a little better, I think. Maybe I'll do that one. Delete the other one, or at least compare them. And then there was that little side look. That one's hard to not lock out your knee, but it's better to not so that you can see more hamstring. And then that's it. So then what I do is there's an Instagram Frames app, I believe it's called, Layout. And luckily I'm not actively on Instagram, but I can just use the Layout app. So first I need to put those photos in my bodybuilding album. Boom, 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 boom. So I have a phase 2 album, and in that album already I have photos from the very beginning when I started. And what we do is we go and find that very first photo, front pose for example, even just like the front relaxed, and we put it next to this week's. Is that it? Yeah, that is it. And then I like to take away the border and kind of make them line up a little bit better. And you can see kind of beginning to now where we're at. For front relaxed, there's not like a whole lot of difference, but it can get a little crazy in some of the actual poses, like the front flexed pose, just how different things can look. I'll do that one real quick just so you can see it. Let's see. There's my beginning, and there's this week. Kind of make them about the same height next to each other. And there you can kind of see an example of where I started in September and where I'm at now. So this is something I definitely recommend even if you're not doing bodybuilding, because it's really hard to see how you're changing and growing and improving week to week, month to month, or it's good for accountability if you're not in a growing season, but you just are hoping to maintain your physique. And it's just helpful to have the same suit, the same setup, and just do it every week. And it kind of also, it could influence to some extent lifestyle behaviors as well. If you know you have a little photo shoot coming on Monday, like this was not part of my equation, but last night I kind of wanted pizza and we ended up having chicken with salad, and possibly that's less inflammatory, and as a result it's not going to be night and day, but I'm sure I wouldn't have felt as good in my photos today if I had had pizza versus I feel pretty good this morning. I had a good sleep. I was truly curious to see what the photos look like, and that I think is more so what you're looking for, is curiosity, not judgment. Whether it's photos, whether it's looking at your trending weight on the scale, whether it's seeing how your sleep's been, what your stressors have been over the course of the week. There's so much biofeedback that you can collect and gather. Your hip to waist ratio, just how adherent you've been and how difficult that has felt. There's so many little pieces of information beyond the scale, beyond even photos and the physical aesthetic, that get at your health and fitness journey and can help you stay the course over time. So hopefully that gives you some ideas.